All right, welcome back. In this section, we will be working with percent equations. Now, when you're working with situations involving percents, a lot of times it's possible to translate that situation directly into a mathematical equation, one that you can either evaluate or solve. So beginning with example 1, what is 12% of 20? Now, looking at this statement very carefully, the word what, that indicates our unknown. That is what that's what we're looking for. So I'm going to replace the word what with x. The word is translates to equals. And then we have 12%. Now, you're always going to want to convert the percent to decimal form when you're writing an equation like this. So 12% is the same as 0.12 of, that indicates multiplication, and then 20. So I'm going to condense this. X is equal to 0.12 times 20. Multiply this out, x is equal to 0.12 times 20 is 2.4. And that is our answer. Now in part B, we have 60% of what is 15. So 60%, again, you want to convert it to decimal form, so that's 0.6 of is multiplication. What, there's our unknown, so I'm going to use x for that, is, that's equals 15. So condensing this, we have 0.6 times x equals 15. Solving the equation for x, divide both sides by 0.6. And on the left-hand side, 0.6 over 0.6 is 1. So 1x is the same as x, equals 15 divided by 0.6 is 25. And that is our answer. Now in part C, we start off with what percent of 140 is 3.5. So this right here, this is going to be our unknown. This is x. But what we have to remember is the answer needs to be written as a percent. So there is going to be one extra step at the end, converting our answer into percent form. So we just want to remember that. Of is multiplication. There's 140 is, there's the equal sign, 3.5. So we have x times 140 equals 3.5. We're probably more accustomed to seeing this written in reverse order. So I'm just going to say 140x, which is the same thing, just flipped around, equals 3.5. Solve for x. So divide both sides by 140. On the left, the 140s give you 1, so 1x, or just x, equals 3.5 divided by 140, 0.025. Now, before we box this up, remember the question was asking what percent. So we need to convert our answer to percent form. 0.25 or 0.025 translates to 2.5%. And that is our answer. Now, example 2, we have an application. A lender requires a minimum down payment of 16% of the value of the home that is being purchased. Part A, what is the required down payment for a $180,000 home? So to solve this, we always want to first work out what it is that we're looking for. Here, what is the required down payment? That's what we're looking for. So that's our unknown. That's going to be our variable. So I could use x, but I always like to use a letter that kind of reminds me of what it is it represents. So I'm going to use D. D for down payment. And then we need to look through the problem to see how we can set this up to figure out the down payment that is required. So a lender requires a down payment of 16% of the value of the home. And what is the required down payment for a $180,000 home? So D, our down payment, is 16% of $180,000. That's what this problem translates to. So translating this into an equation, D is equal to 0.16, converting that to decimal form, of $180,000. Multiplying this out, D is equal to $28,800. Writing our answer in a complete sentence, the down payment would have to be $28,800. So the down payment for the $180,000 home would be $28,800. Part B, you have $23,500 available to use as a down payment. Determine the maximum home value. That's going to be what we're looking for, that you can finance. So in this case, I'm going to let the letter V represent the maximum home value that you can finance. And looking back through the problem, the down payment is 16% of the value of the home. So the down payment, this $23,500, is 16% of the value of the home. So that's the equation that we're going to have to translate. So translating just directly, 23,500 is 16%, 0.16 times V. So that's the equation that we're solving. So I'm going to divide both sides by 0.16. Divide by 0.16. So we have V is equal to 146,875. So in essence, if you have $23,500 available to use as a down payment, you can finance a home with the maximum value of $146,875. So you can finance a $146,875 home.